In the first part of our color wheel project, we only focused on the primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. So that is our primary colors. We move on now to the secondary colors. Secondary colors are the combination of the adjacent primary colors. So if this area, you see I've gone ahead and put in circles for the areas that there will be secondaries. There are 3 secondaries. They are the combination of the 2 adjacents. So this one would be the combination of red and blue. This one would be the combination of blue and yellow. And this one would be the combination of red and yellow. So what you end up having is red and blue make violet. Blue and yellow make green. And red and yellow make orange. So the way we do this is we go back to our palette, and this is the first time that we are going to start mixing colors. So we'll focus on one at a time. I'm going to start with the blue and the yellow and make green. Green is our first secondary color. So in this case, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, a little bit of blue. Maybe I have to go back and forth. Now this is tricky because colors like blue tend to be more potent than the yellow. So I might actually, as I add a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue, I'm going to find that happy balance of what we say, what we all agree on is a true green, right in the middle between the two. This one right now, it tends to be, I have a little bit too much blue, so it's a little bit blue-green. So I need to add a little bit more yellow. All right. I'm getting closer now. I think that's pretty good. It's almost there. Maybe a touch more yellow. Notice how we're not using any other colors like white or black. We're going with pure color. We're not adding a tint or a shade to this. We're just working on the pure color. All right, I think that's pretty close. Mind you, I'm just doing a little bit. That's just enough to come in here and fill in my little circle here. To create my little green swatch. Now I chose to do circles. You know, you don't have to do circles. If you want to do squares or you want to do pie shapes and fill in the pie shape, that's fine too. But you notice I didn't pour any other paint in here. I just added a little bit of blue and a little yellow, and I went back and forth until I found what I felt was a true green. Okay. Now I'm working with it very watercolory like. We typically do that with scenic paint. We treat the scenic paint not as a thick paint. We don't treat it like you would paint a house. It's more artistically, and so we go with more of a watercolory effect. Now, there's nothing wrong with letting that dry and doing another layer. Okay, so let's go over here and do this one. We have blue and we have red. So I'm going to turn my palette around here. I'm going to grab a little bit of red, bring it over here in the middle, add a little bit of blue. I'm going to mix those. Now, that's pretty thick, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. So I dipped my brush in the water and added a little bit of water to that. Still a little too red. And mind you, see how quickly that changed? Blue is a very potent color, so we don't need very much to get very far. So that's still a little red violet. I'm going to add a little bit more blue, not much. Boy, that's pretty darn close. So let's see what that looks like. Mind you, I didn't use very much paint, you know, so we don't need a ton of paint for these projects. You just need really like a quarter-size dab of each. All right, so I'm going to keep adding some of that. I got to be careful. Some of my yellow bled into that as I was holding this, so I'm going to fill in my little circle here. And that's pretty good. I'm okay with that. So I have blue and red, and now I have a violet. All right. So now I'm going to go to this side, and so we have red and yellow, and now we need to make an orange. So if I go here and I add a little bit of red here and a little bit of the yellow, mix them together. All right. As this changes, it's going to start off being sort of a red-orange color. As I add more yellow, it's going to start slowly creeping over to the pure orange. All right, still a little on the red-orange. Let me add a little more water. Remember, my yellow is a little thick, so there we go, getting much better color. So I'm looking at this little area right here. I'm not looking at everything. I'm just kind of looking right where I'm really mixing, and I'm liking that. So let's go down here. We'll kind of look at this color. So now my red and my yellow have made a very nice orange color. So I'll take the time to fill in this little circle. You see, I'm kind of just moving my brush stroke around in little X patterns, right? And I'm going to fill it all in. And I'm pretty happy with that. That looks pretty good, right? So I have my primaries, which were red, blue, and yellow. And now I have my secondaries of violet, green, and orange. Okay? So that concludes the second part of this project.